Hey everybody, welcome to Hat Whole Home Video. I'm Brian Q. I was thinking, so not that long ago I made a video talking about, well, I guess I've made a couple videos recently that kind of tie into this. We're talking physical media, surprise, surprise. But it's kind of this 1-2 punch of, I was talking about how right now, just because I see the cycles of media obsolescence that then becomes media collectability. And I saw it with VHS maybe 10 years ago where it was so plentiful and so cheap. I'm talking about used stuff. I'm talking about out with the old, right? And I was talking about how I see that same cycle repeating, and we are at that stage of the cycle with DVDs. So I was talking about how right now, if you're into physical media, if you're into collecting older stuff, right now you go to thrift stores, you go to Goodwills, and DVDs are incredibly plentiful, lots of great titles, and they're practically giving them away. That's really all I was saying with that video. I'm just saying, if that's something you're into, the getting is good now. So get on it now. Don't think it's going to be like that forever, because it's not. For some reason, that video rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Maybe I didn't communicate like what I was saying good enough. Maybe you can't listen. I don't know. I mean, it's one or the other. But the other thing that I talked about in a somewhat recent video too was that I truly believe that we are going to see a resurgence of physical media, and we're going to see a contraction of the streaming services. And once again, whether intentionally or because people for some reason have like very opinionated feet dug in, maybe not just your feet are dug in, but maybe your head is in the sand, buried in the sand, opinions on this subject and have taken these sides. But I was shocked at how many people were so ravenously foaming pro-streaming stands who were just disgusted with the fact that I would dare say that the future is anything other than streaming. And it also felt very like all or nothing, even though I don't think I ever said streaming services would just simply not become a thing. Like I definitely believe some streaming services will go away. I think some will consolidate. Some will greatly contract and offer an extremely reduced selection. But the idea that streaming services would just be gone, I don't think I ever even implied that, so I feel like people are kind of reading that in to what I was saying. I also don't believe that like DVDs or physical media discs, again, I say DVDs, although in this video I'm going to talk specifically about actual DVDs, but a lot of times when I say DVDs, I just mean physical media. I mean Blu-rays, I mean 4Ks, like I'm just talking physical media. But again, today I want to talk about actual DVDs, but I never said those are just going to take back over and it's going to be physical media, as far as the eye could see again. No. But a lot of the criticism in that video, or criticisms I saw over and over again, was the cost of physical media versus streaming and the space factor. The fact that physical media takes up space. So I wanted to address those two things because I actually think those two things are why I think DVD is going to make a resurgence. I do think DVD is going to come back because of cost and because of space. So here's what I want to lay out for you. Well, first of all, streaming services are only getting more expensive, and they're all getting more expensive. So now it's like, okay, I want Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, I want a few of the main ones. Well, it used to be, they were between $4.99 and $9.99, and now most of them are in the teens. Now most of them are 13, 14, 15 bucks. So all of a sudden, you want 3 streaming services, you're talking about $45 a month you're probably spending on streaming, times 12 for the year. That's a sizable. I mean, I'm bad at math, and it's going to be really embarrassing right now that I can't do that quick math, but let's say it's $500 a year that you're spending on your physical media. And that's actually fine. Like, again, if you're buying every movie, that's a lot, $500 a year is a lot less than if you're buying all these things. But again, I sort of believe it's going to be a hybrid system. So I think you will have these contracted, smaller streaming services that hopefully eventually they figure out, let's charge a little less money for a smaller service, and maybe have a very limited rotating selection. It's kind of always coming in and out. There's always something to watch. It's more of a thing of instead of this endless library, they give you a handful of things that changes every week or every couple weeks. But then that then supplements the physical media side, and you would buy movies you care about. I'm not talking about buying every movie. I'm talking about buying movies that you care about. So cost. I wanted to talk about the cost and the space of DVDs. And you'll notice, at the couple places that still actually carry new physical media, and places that still support new physical media, your Walmarts and your dollar stores, that's really the only places that I see them at. You're still dealing with a fair amount. You've got your big budget Hollywood stuff, but you're getting in those low budget, no budget horror movies, mostly straight to DVD on the shelf at Walmart for $9.99. I looked into the manufacturing costs of a DVD, and just for you and me going to a manufacturer saying, we want 10,000 DVDs of something, of our movie, it would come down to about $1.50 a DVD, $1.50, $2, somewhere in there, manufacturing costs. So right off the bat, I think if people would be willing to accept, now when I say people, I mean distributors, the proprietors, the places that would actually carry this media and sell it. I think right away you have to realize we need to reduce the price tag on a lot of this stuff, especially if we're going back down to DVD. I think I would like to see new movies cost $9.99, new releases of maybe not your because I do think there is a place for the DVDs to be the affordable alternative to Blu-rays and 4Ks. So your Blu-rays, your 4Ks, those are the ones that would do the cool steel box, steel case, whatever they're, you know what I'm talking about. They would be the super collector's editions, but then there would be the DVD where you could buy, if you just really want to watch the movie, have the movie in some format. And to go along with that, and to talk about space, there's really no need in this day and age for a DVD to be in a plastic, not jewel case, but a DVD case. Like this. There's just no need anymore, especially if we are radically creating a space and cost efficient DVD market. So I think you reduce the packaging down to a disc well, square, but like a disc-sized little sleeve, little cardboard sleeve with the, you know, the cover of the movie on it, and people get into, remember CD wallets? Remember you could have like 200 or 400 CDs in like one case? Well, imagine if you had just a nice little insert of the movie poster, reformatted to be like a nice little clean, attractive looking little square, and you could slip that into each pocket with the DVD, and you could have 400 movies in a space this big, in the space of like 2 pizza boxes stacked up on top of each other. I think 400 discs in a space that small, I don't think you get to complain about the space anymore. So I think what I've done just now is all those people, the many, many people foaming about space and cost of DVDs, I think I just popped your balloon, right? Like, space isn't a thing anymore. Not if we do it this way. Cost is barely a thing. I think new releases could be $9.99, and then once something's not a new release, after 90 days or whatever, it becomes $4.99. I think the majority of DVDs on the market in this new, resurgent, cost-efficient DVD market, most movies outside of the new releases should just be $4 or $5. And then everybody's still making a little bit of money. Obviously, we know the store is going to need a cut. The distributor is going to need a cut. The manufacturer is going to need a cut. And the creators are going to need a cut. This isn't going to make billionaires out of anybody. But it is the cost-efficient alternative. And then those big blockbusters can still make their 4Ks with their loaded with special features and their collector's editions and their ultimate editions. And then, yes, those things can still be available on streaming, and you can, rent them or buy them through streaming. But there is at least a physical media option for ownership that is cost efficient and space efficient. And I think we've done it. I think we've cracked the code, folks. I think if someone wanted to pick this idea up and run with it, and especially like a Walmart or something, I think you could make a lot of money. I think they could manifest this resurgence of an increasingly obsolete media form, but it's only obsolete because they've just decided not to support it. I think there are better ways to support it instead of just thinking, we just want it to be like it was. I don't want it to be like it was. I think there is a new, better way of going about it. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the matter. I hope this sparks some interesting conversations. I hope that all the people that were in the comments in my previous videos, that now, like, you see that you're wrong, right? Like, you understand that I was right and you were wrong. So I'm sure you're going to be down in the comments really apologetically and respectfully saying that I was right. I can only assume that that's what's going to happen. But either way, whether you think I'm right or wrong, hit subscribe, because we talk about movies, we talk about physical media. And by we, I mean me. I just used the we in the royal as the Queen would use it. I don't know if the King does. I don't. I will never accept that there is a King of England. Sorry. She'll always be my queen, you know what I mean? Anyway. All right. I'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye. She tried to raise me right, but I refused. And I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried. Mama tried.